Ready? Okay, I'm going to do this appropriately as I had planned and rehearsed countless times this morning. Okay, I did it once. So, welcome to the Rav and Kizer show. In this show, we talk announcements, we talk reviews, and absolute nonsense. My name is Kizer, but to my virtual left, I got to look at the screen for this because I wrote this down. I don't have memorized. I am honored to be accompanied by the best flow in London, fire team co-captain, and the BS connoisseur himself, Mr. Ravage. How you doing?
I'm doing good, sir. How are you?
Not bad, not bad. You appreciate the intro? How was that? How was that?
Fire team co-captain. I was kidding.
Had to sneak it in.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I like it.
Cool, man. Yeah, I mean, we're obviously here. Episode one. Pretty good, like, stuff to talk about. Actually,
it's kind of funny because we've been playing this for a couple weeks, and then boom, Xbox gives us our first content right there, as you can see right down the middle.
Yeah.
The Xbox Series S has been finally announced, revealed, and above all, priced.
So hear that, kids. Procrastination can sometimes lead to opportunity.
Priced. We have prices, people.
We have prices.
You want to start it? Or you want me to start it? What are you thinking?
You know what? Why don't you take it away? Go ahead.
All right. So as everybody knows, Xbox pulled. It was leaked. It was originally leaked late at night, and then Xbox first thing in the morning, even before I think anybody got in the office, they finally revealed, hey, let's make it official on Twitter. They priced it. They gave it the specs later in the day. And now we have a price for their big one, their Series X, and now we have their Series S. And the price points on both are very interesting, especially when the S comes in with the same CPU chip, less of graphics, but you're looking at it right now, and it's a solid contender for 1080p gaming. And Xbox Series X comes in at a price everyone figured would be $499, and now, oh no, you're revealing our secrets. And now we have PS5 yet to announce anything yet.
Yeah.
And the big deal on the PS5 is going to be with the Series X coming in at $299. And we already know the PS5 is less powerful graphically. The CPU is the same, but graphically they have less graphical power. They're going to tote that they have better transfer in the memory and read write and everything like that. But can they put the PS5 at $499, or has Microsoft effectively kicked them in the nuts? now they're stuck dropping it to $399 in order to compete with the Series S, which also has a financing option for $25 a month. Thank you very much.
That is right. And actually, you get quite a bit for that. So I can pull that up. For all access, obviously strictly talking Canadian here.
No, we're Canadian, so we'll be talking Canadian. We don't actually have the Canadian price. We have the American at $100 for that. So $299 will be $399, $499 will be $599 for us. It's roughly what they do.
But I mean, we'll see what the cost actually looks like in Canadian, because with the console costs, they brought down the price, so it wasn't an exact conversion, which is good to see. They're thinking of us, but that's going to be really interesting. I love the bundle. Like, this is a very interesting thing, and Xbox, or I guess Microsoft, is doing something very interesting here. They're saying, come holiday season, you're gonna have a couple of options. Like, money's gonna be tight. If you want to purchase something upright, then you can do so with the Series S. If you want, and maybe money's a little tighter, your kid wants the Series X, go in, do this bundle. You're paying almost nothing. You're getting the console itself. You're obviously getting Game Pass. You're getting EA Play. Obviously
announced
that they just announced. I did make sure to include some stuff here, obviously, but that's pretty sweet. I think it was pretty important actually that they bundled into EA Play, because they don't have that strong of a launch lineup, but that way at least you have something that you can pick off the ground and start playing.
Yeah.
I don't know if all the games are going to be optimized or if any of them are going to be optimized for new gen gaming, but at least off the bat, you're going to have some stuff that you can start to dig your teeth into. You're going to have some Battlefield. You can have some of the previous gen sports games, Need for Speed Heat. You're going to have, pretty diverse lineup.
As far as I understand, anything that came out on an Xbox One is going to be fully added to Series X, the next gen console. So Xbox really is coming out the gate hard. They're saying, hey, you know what? You don't even need to buy the games. Buy Xbox Game Ultimate. Every game's pretty much going to be on there. Plus, it'll be on PC, especially for our exclusive titles. EA Play is here now. Anything that was on Xbox One for EA Play, you're going to get. Anything in the future is going to be there, bundled in the price of the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. They're really coming out hard, swinging. I think, Phil Spencer said there's no such thing as a console war. Your console war is not my console war. Then he comes out, literally drops the gauntlet and says, here's our big daddy. This is our biggest one. This is our PS5, the killer right here. We got better graphics this time around because we screwed it over on the Xbox One. We were way behind. The Elite is the machine we should have released, but we didn't. So they're on spec for graphics. They're much better than the PS5. I think both consoles will come out about even in terms of gameplay and things. I don't think you'll really notice much of a difference at all. And then they came out with their Xbox Series S and saying, we understand not everyone's going to be able to put $500 up for a new console. So here we go. Here is our S version, much cheaper, dedicated for 1080p gaming. All the games will play on it. You still can get Game Pass, all the games for it. Plus, if you can't afford $300 American, guess what, people? For $25 a month, you can have it. You can lease to own it. And with that $25, we're going to throw in all this stuff for you. Why wouldn't you buy it?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you buy it? So Sony is like literally probably sitting there, and being like, well, we just got kicked in the nuts. And now Sony's going to come out. They got some better first party exclusives that they were able to get. They're going to have a very good machine coming out. I honestly think, they're between the two. Like I said, I don't think you're going to see much of a difference at the graphical end and stuff like that. I think they're going to both look very well, very good, very even. You might see maybe some Xbox doing a few things because they have that higher teraflop power. But then if third-party games don't really optimize for all that power and they're just going to come in subpar, then between those two, if they're multi-platforms, you're not going to see a difference at all, right? So now, like, what does Sony do? Does Sony come in and say, you know what, we're just going to go neck and neck with the Xbox One and throw our console in at $499 to recoup that cost? Or are they going to have to, like, seriously take a huge loss and go, okay, so we're coming in at $425 maybe or $399. We're going to come $100. We're going to come $100 more than the S and $100 less than the X. Right? I think if they want to win, that's where they're going to have to be, and I think it's going to hurt them, and I don't think they can do it.
Yes, because Sony has not confirmed that they will have any sort of subscription service to pick up a console, right? That's what I'm seeing here. So
they're still backing with their PS Now, which hasn't been very popular. Not many people have gotten it. It's too expensive, and not many people have signed on board with it. So that's what they're saying. You can get PS Now, you get all PlayStation library through PS Now, but you'll get the games with gold. Well, that's not the games with gold. Is PS Plus, games with PS Plus.
Something that's pretty interesting to think about, I guess, is how the whatever console was focusing more on games upon like launch and release or whatever, like that's always the one that at least starts off well or carries the generation, right? So, and then the one that focuses more on like on their business plan or console tech or whatever usually actually does not do so well. You go back to PS3, they take an extra year, they focus on getting a Blu-ray player and such, and they struggled for it. And then at some point they made a pivot in their E3 strategy, and they were just like, we're just going to show you a bunch of games, we're going to invest a lot in studios and get you really, really, really good games. And that's kind of just been their strategy for a while now. And then even when PS4 came out, the strategy never changed. And on Microsoft's side, they were like, they put out a really weird console, there wasn't like the strongest launch lineup, and they were like putting out a console where a lot of the messaging was like, you can plug in your cable and watch cable while playing. Like, who cares, you know? I think that killed them, especially because throughout the life of the Xbox One, they weren't able to get anything really going for really good exclusive games. And the interesting thing about all of this is it's almost like Microsoft is taking, like, it's like a similar, not the approach isn't the same, but they're definitely not doubling down on games. They're doubling down on, like, this is a really strong business approach. Like, we're going to say, hey, guess what? You can play on your Xbox One, or you can play on your Xbox Series S or X. You can play on your PC. You want to pick up and go, here's xCloud, right? Really interesting stuff. I can see them staying afloat. Not even just afloat. I can see them actually selling more units or getting more units out of store. I think purely got based off of Series S now being around for a much cheaper price, and the all access and what all access means with all the games and the online, whatever. So it's going to be really interesting time to like those first couple of months to monitor it and see how sales go. Well, it was really interesting because when, you know, Sony's always been trying to catch up to Xbox, right? Because Xbox came out and started battling Nintendo and Sega. And then Sega completely dropped out after Dreamcast because they spent too much money. They used the wrong program. They made everybody program into Windows CE, and nobody wanted to program into it. So they screwed over the Dreamcast that way. Then they completely dropped out from the console race, and that was it. Sega's pretty much dead. They're dead in the water, right? They put out a couple games here and there, but they're dead in the water. They're nowhere near the powerhouse that they used to be. And so Xbox got right up there. They're right neck and neck with Nintendo, and then they surpassed it because Nintendo decided instead of pushing hardware like they did against Sega, they're gonna do something way off on Saturn out here, and they made the Wii, which is very popular, but the graphics were crap. But it still sold because of that. And then they made the Wii U, which gave you just a teeny weeny little bit better graphics, but it never took off where it needed to because it was the same crap and people wanted something new. Well, actually, a lot of people didn't even think the Wii U was a console. A lot of people thought the Wii U was an accessory. So then basically Nintendo flushed themselves down the toilet and, you know, got shot out into, radioactive lake of The Simpsons over there. And Microsoft has been up here, and then Sony was calling. So in 360 and PS3 battle. Now, the 360 was a great machine. It had the Red Ring of Death, which really kind of set things back. PS3 was too expensive. They went for an 8-core crazy thing that the Army bought a ton of to run their servers on because they could wipe the machine, put Linux on it, and it ended up being a really, really good processor computer at the time for it. And then I think it was around 4 or 5 years, they came up with the PS3 Slim, and the price was way lower. And everybody that had a 360 had the money to buy that PS3 Slim and be like, you know what? There's no point in not having both. So now a lot of people jumped on PlayStation bandwagon, started buying the exclusive games, Uncharted, which drove that console, and much others like Last of Us. And then when it came to the PS4 era, PS4 beat Xbox One out of the gate, if I'm not mistaken. The original Xbox Ones that came from Xbox were their drives were dying. They had the highest failure rate on the drives, so a lot of people had to send them back. And then, of course, on the launch console, you send it back, there's not one available to give back to you. So a lot of people got their money, went with PS4. And then graphically, once it came side by side graphics, the PS4 was just so much better. Xbox One was just couldn't perform, couldn't give the FPS. And the PS4 could. So everybody migrated over to the PS4, and they've gotten the market share, and all the exclusive deals that Microsoft had disappeared. Because if I'm going to sell a game and you've only sold 3 million consoles, but PS4 has sold 10 million, I can get probably 6 million copies of my game sold compared to my 1 million or 2 million on your console. Who am I going to go with? Get rid of the exclusive deals. You failed. Either go multi or exclusive with them. So now coming out with the PS5, they still have those exclusive deals, but are we going to see them start to break off because Xbox Series X is going to be that much better, or parity? And I think now you're going to see more parity between the two. They're both agreeing to do crossplay. Now we're talking about cross-gen,
right? Cross-gen.
Yeah.
So like, you know, Destiny is going to be cross-gen, cross-play. Like, I mean, you're seeing a lot of different lingo that we never thought was possible.